Right, hello guys and welcome back to another video. It's my second video of the day and it is my Game Week 15 EFL Championship 25-26 predictions. But as always, before we begin, let's see how I did last in the midweek. I had my best week of predictions of the season in the Championship. I got two scorelines bang on. Southampton beating QPR 2-1 and Sheffield Wednesday Norwich Strong 1-1 correct. And as well as that, I got 4 correct outcomes, so that's 10 points, taking my season total up to a whopping 93. And here is how the Championship table looks after 14 matches. And without further ado, let's begin predicting this final game week of the triple game week. And we're going to start with tonight's match. It is Watford against Bristol City. And these are two sides that seem to be going in opposite directions in the table. Watford seem to be on pretty good form at the minute. And Bristol City have fallen off. Their form has fallen off a cliff a bit here. It's tricky. With Watford being the home side, I could give them a win here. But I'm still convinced by Bristol City to get results over the line. And I think they could still be pushing for playoffs this season. I am going to sit on the fence on this one with a 1-1 draw. I think as much as I do want to give Watford a win, I don't know if they've got enough against Bristol City, who have fallen off a bit, but I think they will ultimately start pushing back up the table. So a 1-1 draw. Next up, we've got Hull against Portsmouth. And this is a similar story. Both these sides are trending in opposite directions. Hull's unbeaten record did come to an end this weekend. They lost, and Portsmouth, they drew 0-0 with Wrexham in the midweek. But I feel like Portsmouth they're in trouble. They are pretty much effectively where I thought Hull would be at the start of the season. I can't see anything other than a Hull win at home here, though. Portsmouth are kind of on the relegation bubble there. They're kind of in trouble right now. I am going for the Tigers. I'm going for a 2-0 win. I'm going to give Hull a clean sheet to boot. I think the playoffs is within their reach, and I think a 2-0 win will certainly help them. Next up, we've got a John Eustace derby. It's Blackburn Rovers against Derby County. And these are two sides that are on pretty good form right now. John Eustace obviously managing Derby now. He's going away to his former club in Blackburn, who have been picking up points quite consistently. Of course, 2-1 to Southampton a couple of weeks ago. And then can't remember what they did last week. Derby, this is tricky because if Blackburn won this, I think it would be 4 in a row, and Derby would make it, I think, 5 wins in a row. Of course, they beat Sheffield United 3-1 last weekend, I think. With this being at Ewood, I could see Blackburn getting something, but I can't look past Derby's form. I can't look past either form, but I'm going to back Derby here. I'm going to back them for a 2-1 win. I just think John Eustace will get one over on his former club. And 2-1 Derby. 2-1 to the Rams. Next up, we've got Millwall against Preston North End. And this game does say low scoring to me. Both these sides haven't really been very heavy on the goals this season. Preston seemingly never really are. Although Preston have been very impressive in recent weeks. And Millwall, of course, they have been impressive, but their form has started to tail off a little bit now. Again, this is a tricky one, because if it was at Preston's ground, I would probably fancy them for the win. But I think Millwall need to get back to scoring points fast. otherwise they might drop out the playoffs. And I'm going for a win there. I'm going for not a win, a 1-1 draw. I'm going to sit on the fence. I think if I had to pick a winner, I might pick Preston, but I can see Millwall getting something. So 1-1 draw. Next up, we've got Swansea City against Ipswich Town. And this is another tricky one. Kind of. It is kind of tricky because it is at the Swansea.com stadium. But Swansea, after their initial pretty good form at the start of the season, their form's been pretty stinking right now. It wouldn't surprise me. I think they're a bit like QPR. It wouldn't surprise me if they came back and got a result in the future here soon. But against an Ipswich side who is a bit hard to read at times this season, but against an Ipswich side who I think do have the quality, I do think Ipswich will win this 2-1. I almost want to give Swansea a victory, or, well, a draw at least, but I just don't think they can beat Ipswich, so 2-1 to the Tractor Boys. Next up, we have got game of the week. It's Stoke City against Coventry City. And this is game of the weekend in the Championship for sure. It is second against first. Mark Robins going back to his former club. Well, I say going back to, it's his former club going to the Bet365 Stadium. This is tricky. Stoke are on red-hot form right now, as are Coventry. But of course Coventry did lose 3-2 to Wrexham last weekend. Stoke are, well, scoring goals for fun at the minute. This is tricky. It wouldn't surprise me if Stoke got a result out of this. But I don't want to back against Coventry, not after what they've done at the start of the season. I am going to sit on the fence with a Desmond this time, a 2-2 draw. I think both sides are going to, well, I mean, a point isn't a bad result for either, given the circumstances. But yeah, a Desmond is where I'm going on this one. Next up, we've got two sides that are struggling for form. It is West Brom against Oxford United. And not really too much to read. Read about these two sides. West Brom, it's a bit like Swansea. After their initial flying start to the season, their form has fallen off. And Oxford, they haven't really started to get going exactly this season, have they? It's at the Hawthorns, and I do kind of want to give West Brom the win here. But you know what? Oxford can get results on their day. I think I'm going to sit on the fence with a 1-1 draw. I'm going to give Oxford a goal. Not sure that's a great result for either, but maybe a bit better for Oxford, who need the points to push clear of the drop zone. But I'm sitting on the fence with a 1-1 draw on this one. But if I had to pick a winner, I would pick West Brom, but I don't know. Next up, we've got Southampton against Sheffield Wednesday. And Southampton did get back to winning ways eventually, 2-1 against QPR in midweek on Wednesday night. And Sheffield Wednesday are in a bit of trouble right now. They're, struggling for form, and, well, I mean, they've got the points deduction. They're in administration right now. And with them going to St. Mary's, I feel like the away form is better than the home form, but at St. Mary's and against a Southampton side who are, I guess, are quite high in confidence since Will Steele has left, I do think we will win. I don't see Sheffield Wednesday scoring, so I'm going for a 2-0 Southampton win. I think the Saints will march on to the 3 points here. Next up, we've got Sheffield United against QPR. And both these sides are on pretty horrific form right now. They're two of three sides that are yet to get even a single point out of this triple game week. Chris Wilder, he had that initial 2 or 3 game results run, but it seems to have tailed off slightly, although they actually had quite a good first half against Coventry last week. And QPR's form hasn't been the greatest recently. Of course, just lost 2-1 to Southampton. I think Chris Wilder's men will get back to winning ways here. I am going to back the Blades 2-1. I think Chris Wilder will get the win and the result out from somewhere and pick up the 3 points and maybe, it depends on other results, but maybe push out the drop zone. So 2-1 Blades. Next up, we've got Middlesbrough against Birmingham City. And Middlesbrough, their form hasn't been the greatest recently. They got that 1-1 draw, last-minute draw, against Watford in the midweek. Birmingham have 2 back-to-back 4-0 victories in their midst. And I do think... this is crazy because Middlesbrough are the home side, but I think I fancy Birmingham on this one. I think this might be Birmingham finally hitting a good run of form. And I do think I am going to back the Blues here for the win. And Birmingham have been scoring tons of goals recently, so I'm going Birmingham to win 3-1. I know it's an upset for Middlesbrough, who will push downwards, trend downwards and towards the back end of the playoffs, having been top 2 for a while. But 3-1 Birmingham on this one. I can see Birmingham continuing their goal scoring form and get the 3 points. Next up, we've got Norwich City against Leicester City in a battle of 2 sides at the start of the season you might have thought would have been up there in the table, but they are both struggling right now, Norwich especially. And at the time of recording, on Friday the 7th of November, Liam Manning is still at Norwich. I feel like he needs to pick up, a result here if he's going to survive this international break coming up next week. But, and same could be said for Marty Cifuentes as well, actually, at Leicester. If I had to pick a winner, I would pick Leicester, because Norwich are yet to win at Carrow Road this season. But I do think somehow Norwich will pick up a draw here. I'm going for a 1-1 draw. It's so tricky to predict, but I just think when these two out of form sides play each other, I think could be quite low scoring draw. So 1-1 is where I'm going. And then the final game is, almost the complete opposite of the previous game. It is 2 sides that are in great form right now. Wrexham against Charlton Athletic. These 2 sides came up from League 1 last season, Wrexham finishing 2nd, Charlton finishing 4th, being promoted through the playoffs, and yet are the highest performing side currently that came up from League 1 last season. But with this being at the racecourse, I think Charlton have been very impressive this season, and I don't think I'll back against them often. But Wrexham are in great form, and with them being the home side, I am just going to edge them. I'm going to edge Wrexham 2-1. I think the Welsh side is going to get the win, but I do think that Charlton will put up a close game, but 2-1 Wrexham. And there you have it, guys, all 12 matches for this weekend predicted for the Championship. Make sure to let me know your predictions in the comments down below, and we'll see how I do after the international break, but I'm hoping I get a couple right at least, or at least one. That's all I ask for, is just one correct outcome. So See you in the next one.